They said I was cursed the day I was born. Mama bled for hours, her screams loud enough to silence the crickets of Obaid village. I arrived under a blood moon, wrapped in a storm, with a birthmark shaped like a drum on my left shoulder blade. The elders wanted me gone. It is the mark of Aniko, they whispered. The girl will bring death. But Mama refused to give me up. She raised me in a hut far from the village center, close to the forest, where the trees whispered stories at night, and the wind carried voices that only I could hear. Baba died before I turned 2. Or so they said. I never saw his grave. Never saw his face. Only a fading image in Mama's eyes when she thought I wasn't watching. Then one day, Mama disappeared too. They said a leopard dragged her into the woods. But I saw no blood, no prints, just a string of cowries in a perfect circle on her sleeping mat, and the faint smell of smoke that clung to her wrapper. No one spoke of it again. No one helped me. No one looked me in the eye. I became the girl with the cursed shoulder, the one who talked to trees, the one who dreamed of drums beating from beneath the soil. It started again the night of my 19th birthday. The village was asleep when I heard it, deep, thunderous, ancient, a rhythm not played with hands, but with power. It throbbed through the floor of my hut, vibrating through my spine like lightning caught in my bones. Boom, boom, boom. 3 beats, silence, then a whisper. Come. I sat up, heart racing. I had heard that voice before. In dreams, I never remembered when I woke. This time, I wasn't dreaming. The forest outside pulsed with it. I should have stayed inside. I should have prayed. But my feet moved before I could think. I followed the sound into the forest, barefoot, guided by the moonlight. The trees bowed as I passed, their leaves brushing my shoulders like old friends. Then I saw it. A large drum, standing in a clearing alone. Aniko. It wasn't carved, it was grown, fused into the ground like it had roots. Its surface pulsed with each heartbeat. Symbols crawled across its hide, glowing softly. A woman stood beside it. Her back to me, her hair was long, white braided with bones. She wore a mask carved of ebony, with one eye open and the other stitched shut. You came, she said without turning. Who are you? I whispered. The drum has chosen you, the village lied. Your blood carries what they fear. I don't understand. She turned, and the mask was Mama's face. I staggered back. It wasn't possible. But the face, the scar above the brow, the small dimple near her lip, it was Mama. Mama, I whispered, trembling. She removed the mask. It was not her, it was something else. A creature wearing memory. You will know the truth in time, she said, but first, awaken what sleeps. She pointed to the drum. Play it. No, they said. They lied. But if I... She vanished. And the drum began to throb louder. This time it wasn't asking, it was calling. I touched it. The moment my fingers brushed its surface, heat surged through my chest. The trees shook, the earth groaned. A blinding light burst from beneath the soil. I was thrown backward, into the past. Visions flooded my head. A boy standing at the edge of a cliff. A deal made with a shadow. A village founded on betrayal. A baby wrapped in fire. A woman running. A man dragged underground. I saw myself as a child, not alone but watched, protected, hunted. Then I woke. I was lying in the clearing. The drum was gone. But someone else stood where it had been. A boy. With my eyes. He looked no older than 17. His skin shimmered like river stone. And he wore a necklace of animal teeth and dried feathers. You touch the drum, he said, voice low. Who are you? I asked. I am the part of you they tried to erase. The blood you carry, the reason they fear you. I shook my head. You're not real. He walked toward me. They called you cursed. But it is the village that is cursed. The elders made a pact long ago. They buried the truth with the bodies of those who spoke against it. Now it stirs. What does that have to do with me? You are the drum's heir. Days passed. The village changed. Children began to fall sick. Crops withered overnight. Drums cracked in the shrine without being touched. And always, always that beat echoed faintly at night. Boom, boom, boom. The elders panicked. They called it a plague, a punishment, but they knew. I confronted Chief Dura one night. He was the oldest and the cruelest. His eyes held the weight of too many secrets. You played the drum, he said, not a question. You lied to us. He sighed. You weren't supposed to live. Your mother defied the pact. What pact? He smiled, but it was hollow. Ask the earth, it remembers. I returned to the clearing. This time I brought tools. The soil beneath the spot where Aniko once stood was soft. Too soft, as if it had been dug up and refilled many times. I began to dig. 3 hours in, I hit something wood. A door. A hidden hatch, sealed with symbols. I traced them. They burned beneath my fingertips, then gave way. The hatch opened. Stairs led down into darkness. At the bottom, a shrine, candles still burning, skulls arranged in a circle, and in the center, a second drum, larger, cracked, and bound in skin. I shouldn't have entered, but something pulled me in. As I stepped closer, the air thickened. Then it spoke. Not with words, but with memory. I saw the past, not through visions but through knowing. The elders once served a being, Arawa, a spirit of knowledge and hunger. They offered the firstborns of each generation to it, in exchange for wealth and protection. My mother ran, because she refused to give me. She hid me, faked her death. But they found her eventually. Now the spirit wants me, the last unclaimed child. It wants its debt paid. I ran. Back to the village. Back to the lies. They tried to stop me, the elders. But it was too late, the earth had opened, the sickness had spread, and the drum beat louder than ever. I found the boy again, the one with my eyes. We must end it, I said. He nodded, but it will cost. What? Everything. The sky turned black. The forest screamed. And from the underground shrine, something climbed out. Not Arawa, Chief Duro, but not as a man, as a creature of shadow, twisted by the pact he made. The final battle had begun. It wasn't Chief Duro anymore. His body was stretched, bones twisted like mangled tree roots. His eyes glowed red, not blood red, but ember red, like coals smoldering after a fire. Black smoke poured from his mouth as he spoke in a voice that wasn't his. The bloodline was promised. The girl is mine. I froze, the ground beneath my feet trembled. The boy with my eyes, the one I now knew was more than spirit, stepped between us. She is no longer bound, he said. Duro roared, shaking the trees. She touched the drum, her soul is claimed. I could barely breathe. I turned to the boy. Who are you really? He looked at me with sadness and pride. I am the half they killed in the womb. I am your twins. They never told me. They never even hinted. But it made sense, why I always felt something missing. Why my dreams felt like memories I had never lived. My twin was real. Not dead but transformed, trapped in a world between spirit and flesh. They tried to kill me, he said. Before I was born, they didn't know mother gave me to the drum. He pointed to his chest, where a faint tattoo pulsed like a heartbeat. She made a pact of her own, one to save us. I became the guardian, you became the vessel. The vessel. You hold the last piece of Arawa's power. The part it has always hunted. The part Mama took and hid inside you when you were a baby. I wanted to scream, but there was no time. The forest split open behind us. Roots thick, black, oily, rose from the ground and formed a tunnel. It pulsed like a throat. Duro, or what wore him, was already stepping in. If he gets to the shrine first, he'll complete the ritual, my twin said. What happens if he does? The village dies. We ran. The tunnel swallowed us. Inside, the air was thick with whispers. They came from the roots themselves. Names, hundreds of names, the sacrificed, the forgotten. Each one begging for release. Each one tied to me. The tunnel opened into a massive underground chamber. It was nothing like the first shrine. This was older, wilder. The walls were lined with bones not stacked, but woven like a nest. In the center, a drum made of ironwood and human skin. On it, a single dagger, forged of obsidian and gold. Arawa's eye. It must be destroyed, my twin said. But Duro was already there. He plunged his hand into the drum. Blood erupted from the seams. The shrine screamed. And the bones on the walls began to move. They weren't bones. They were the bound ones, the spirits of the sacrificed, twisted and enraged. And now they were waking. The walls cracked, the earth groaned. And from the drum, Arawa emerged. Not a man, not a beast. A thing of shifting shadows. Dozens of eyes blinking in and out of existence. Its voice a chorus of crying children and laughing elders. You cannot stop what was promised, it said. The girl is mine. I stepped forward. I carry your heart, I said, but I'm not yours. It lunged. But my twin blocked it, raising a staff carved with our mother's bloodline symbol. You want the vessel, he yelled. Then take me instead. Arawa hesitated, then lunged at both of us. We had no choice. I picked up the dagger. It burned in my hand. Visions of every sacrifice flashed through my mind. Children dragged. Women crying, elders chanting. This blade was forged to cut spirit from soul. My twin said, it can sever Arawa, but only if wielded by one who carries both flesh and blood of the cursed line. May it. The spirit roared. I plunged the dagger into my own chest. Not to kill. To unlock. Light exploded from my body. Not white gold. Red-green pulsing with ancestral energy. The spirit shrieked. The bound ones broke free. And with them came Mama. Her spirit stepped forward, young and strong, dressed in a warrior's cloth, holding a broken drum in one hand and a burning staff in the other. My daughter, she whispered. Mama's. She turned to Arawa. No more, she said. She struck the ground with her staff. Flames erupted. The bones of the sacrificed lifted into the air, circling Arawa. You fed on our fear, Mama cried. But now you'll choke on our truth. And the bones pierced Arawa's form, one by one, until it collapsed into a pile of ash and echoes. The drum split, the curse broke, and silence returned. I awoke above ground. The sky was clear for the first time in weeks. Birds sang, the forest was still. My chest bore no wound, but the birthmark had faded. My twins sat beside me. You did it, he said. No, we did. The village emerged from their huts, slowly, cautiously, and they saw me, not as a curse, but as the one who broke the pact. Chief Duro's body was never found, but the shrine collapsed, and the drums never beat again. I built a new shrine, not underground, not hidden, a shrine of truth, where the names of the sacrificed are remembered, where drums are played at dawn, not midnight, where children are told the real history. I am no longer the cursed girl. I am the drum. I am the voice. I am ire. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear it. A faint rhythm. Boom, boom, boom. But now I do not fear it, because I know what it says. You are the legacy. You are the fire beneath the roots. And the story is not over. Like and subscribe to this channel for more stories.